Welcome, dear listeners, to another spine-chilling episode of 101 Ghost Stories. I'm your host, Greg, and today, we embark on a journey that will take us through some of the most haunted buses in the world. But before we dive into these tales of terror, I want to thank our existing subscribers for their continued support and extend a warm welcome to our new listeners. If you enjoy our ghostly tales, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us keep bringing you these thrilling stories. Now, imagine boarding a bus late at night, expecting a routine ride home, only to find yourself face to face with the supernatural. Tonight, we explore 5 buses that carry more than just passengers. From eerie apparitions to unexplained phenomena, these buses are haunted by the spirits of the past. So, buckle up and get ready for a journey into the unknown. Let's begin with our first story. Haunted Bus Number 5, the Beijing Ghost Bus, Route 375, China. Our first stop is in Beijing, China, where the infamous Route 375 has become known as the Beijing Ghost Bus. This story takes us back to a cold winter night on November 14, 1995. Route 375, running from the Yuanminjuan Gardens South Gate to Xiangshan, is usually bustling with passengers during the day. But on this particular night, something sinister was about to unfold. As the bus made its way through the city, it stopped to pick up passengers. Among the regular commuters, 3 peculiar figures boarded the bus. 2 men supporting a third, who appeared to be wearing traditional Chinese attire. Their faces were hidden, and an eerie silence fell over the bus as they took their seats. As the journey continued, the conductor noticed something strange about the new passengers. They seemed out of place, and a sense of dread filled the air. The bus carried on through the dark streets, with passengers gradually getting off at their stops until only a few remained. At one stop, a young man suddenly accused an elderly passenger of stealing his wallet, insisting they both get off at the next stop to sort it out. The driver reluctantly agreed, and they disembarked. Once off the bus, the young man revealed his true intentions. He had noticed that the strange passengers had no legs, realizing they were ghosts. His quick thinking had saved them from a potentially horrifying fate. The next morning, news broke that the bus had vanished overnight, only to be found days later submerged in a reservoir. Inside, authorities discovered the bodies of the driver and conductor, but the 3 mysterious passengers were nowhere to be found. The discovery fueled rumors and legends, turning Route 375 into a symbol of urban terror. To this day, the Beijing Ghost Bus remains a chilling reminder of the unknown forces that might be lurking in the shadows of our daily lives. Urban legends continue to circulate, with locals sharing their own eerie encounters on Route 375, keeping the story of the ghost bus alive. Haunted Bus Number 4, the Mothman Bus, School Bus Route 2, USA. Our next story takes us to the small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, home to one of the most famous paranormal entities in American folklore, the Mothman. While the Mothman is best known for his terrifying encounters and the tragic Silver Bridge collapse, there's another chilling tale that involves a school bus on Route 2. In the late 1960s, during the height of the Mothman sightings, a school bus driver named John was making his usual rounds on Route 2. This rural route was lined with dense forests and winding roads, perfect for an eerie encounter. One foggy morning, as John drove through the mist, he noticed something unusual: a large, dark figure standing by the side of the road. At first, he thought it was a deer, but as the bus drew closer, the figure spread its enormous wings and took off into the air. The sight of the glowing red eyes and the massive wingspan confirmed his worst fears. It was the Mothman. Shaken but determined to keep the children safe, John continued his route. But that wasn't the end of the Mothman's presence. Over the next few weeks, strange things began happening on the bus. The children reported seeing the Mothman flying alongside the bus, peering in through the windows. Some even claimed to hear whispers and strange noises coming from the back of the bus when no one was there. One evening, as John was finishing his last drop-off, he decided to investigate the noises himself. Parking the bus on a secluded stretch of road, he walked to the back, where the whispers were loudest. Suddenly, the bus was rocked by a powerful force, and John saw the Mothman perched on the roof, its eyes glowing menacingly in the dark. The creature let out a bone-chilling screech before taking flight once more, disappearing into the night. Terrified, John reported the incident to the local authorities, but they found no evidence of the Mothman's presence. However, the children on Route 2 continued to experience strange occurrences. Some reported seeing ghostly figures on the bus, while others felt an inexplicable sense of dread whenever they boarded. The legend of the Mothman bus grew, with many believing that the creature was drawn to the bus by some dark force. Paranormal investigators flocked to Point Pleasant, hoping to capture evidence of the Mothman or the other ghostly entities haunting the bus route. Today, the Mothman bus is a part of local folklore, a chilling reminder of the mysterious and terrifying events that took place in the quiet town of Point Pleasant. The story serves as a warning to those who travel Route 2, urging them to stay vigilant and aware of the unknown forces that might be lurking in the shadows. Haunted Bus Number 3, the Phantom Bus of London, Route 7, UK. Next, we travel to London, a city steeped in history and ghost stories. Our destination is Route 7, where an eerie red double-decker bus is said to appear in the dead of night. This spectral vehicle, known as the Phantom Bus, has been the subject of countless spine-tingling tales and unexplained sightings. The story begins in the 1930s, a time when London was expanding and modernizing. One foggy evening, a driver on Cambridge Gardens reported seeing a red double-decker bus careening down the road without headlights. The bus was barreling towards him, forcing him to swerve out of the way. As he looked back, he saw the bus vanish into thin air. This was only the first of many sightings. Over the years, pedestrians and motorists alike have reported seeing the Phantom Bus appear out of nowhere, often at the same intersection where the first sighting occurred. Witnesses described the bus as an older model, its exterior dimly lit by an eerie red glow. One particularly chilling account comes from a man named Richard, who encountered the Phantom Bus while driving home late one night. As he approached the notorious intersection, he saw the bus hurtling towards him. He veered sharply to avoid a collision, crashing into a lamppost. When he looked up, the bus had vanished, leaving no trace of its presence. The legend of the Phantom Bus grew, with stories of ghostly passengers seen through its windows. Some claim that the bus is a harbinger of doom, appearing before tragic accidents. Others believe it's a time slip, a momentary glimpse into the past when the bus was still in service. But the most popular theory is that the bus is driven by a restless spirit, unable to find peace. Efforts to investigate the Phantom Bus have yielded little evidence. Paranormal researchers have staked out the intersection, hoping to capture the ghostly vehicle on camera, but the bus remains elusive. Despite the lack of concrete proof, the legend endures, fueled by the chilling testimonies of those who have encountered it. Today, Route 7 is one of the most infamous bus routes in London, and the story of the Phantom Bus is a staple of local ghost tours. Whether a product of overactive imaginations or a true supernatural phenomenon, the Phantom Bus continues to haunt the streets of London, a ghostly reminder of the city's dark and mysterious past. Haunted Bus Number 2, the Cape Town Ghost Bus, route to Maitland Cemetery, South Africa. Our next stop takes us to Cape Town, South Africa, where a bus route to Maitland Cemetery has earned a terrifying reputation. Known locally as the Cape Town Ghost Bus, this route is infamous for its eerie encounters and ghostly passengers. The story of the Cape Town Ghost Bus begins with a tragic accident in the 1970s. On a stormy night, a bus carrying passengers to Maitland Cemetery lost control on the slick roads and crashed, resulting in numerous fatalities. Since then, the route has been plagued by reports of supernatural activity. Bus drivers and passengers alike have recounted chilling experiences. One of the most famous stories involves a driver named Paul, who had been working the route for years without incident. One night, as he was making his usual rounds, he noticed a young girl standing alone at a bus stop near the cemetery. She was dressed in an old-fashioned white dress, soaked from the rain. Feeling sorry for her, he stopped the bus and opened the doors. The girl boarded silently, her eyes downcast, and took a seat at the back of the bus. Paul continued his route, but when he looked in the rearview mirror, he saw that the girl had vanished. Confused and a little shaken, he stopped the bus and checked, but she was nowhere to be found. This incident repeated itself several times, with different drivers reporting the same mysterious passenger. Passengers, too, have had their share of ghostly encounters. Some have reported seeing shadowy figures moving through the bus, while others have felt a sudden drop in temperature as if an unseen presence had boarded. One woman claimed that she heard whispers and laughter coming from the back of the bus, only to turn around and find the seats empty. The most disturbing accounts come from those who have seen the ghostly figures of the accident victims. On several occasions, passengers have seen a full busload of spectral figures, their faces pale and eyes hollow, staring out of the windows. These apparitions vanish as quickly as they appear, leaving behind a sense of dread and unease. Local paranormal investigators have tried to capture evidence of the ghostly activity, setting up cameras and recording devices on the buses. While some have recorded unexplained noises and sudden temperature drops, definitive proof of the hauntings remains elusive. The legend of the Cape Town ghost bus continues to grow, with each new sighting adding to the eerie lore. Despite the fear it invokes, the bus route to Maitland Cemetery remains in operation, a daily reminder of the tragic accident that gave birth to one of Cape Town's most chilling ghost stories. For those brave enough to ride the Cape Town ghost bus, every journey is a step into the unknown, where the past and present collide in a spectral dance. Haunted Bus Number 1. The Seoul Ghost Bus, Route 971, South Korea. Our final stop takes us to Seoul, South Korea, where the infamous Route 971 is better known as the Seoul Ghost Bus. This modern urban legend has captivated the imaginations of many, with tales of ghostly encounters and unexplained phenomena on this popular bus route. The story of the Seoul Ghost Bus began in the late 1990s. Passengers started reporting strange experiences while riding Route 971, which travels through some of the city's busiest districts. The most common sightings involve ghostly apparitions that appear and disappear without warning. One evening, a commuter named Ji-hoon boarded the bus after a long day at work. He took a seat near the back, trying to relax. As the bus made its way through the city, Ji-hoon noticed a young woman standing by the back door, despite the fact that all the seats were empty. She wore a traditional hanbok, and her face was pale and expressionless. Feeling uneasy, Ji-hoon tried to avoid looking at her, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. When the bus stopped to pick up more passengers, he glanced back and saw that the woman had vanished. He looked around, confused, but there was no trace of her. Similar stories have been told by other passengers. Some have seen a man in a dark suit who suddenly appears and disappears, while others have reported feeling an icy chill as they pass certain areas of the bus. One particularly chilling tale involves a young couple who boarded the bus late at night. They sat down together, only to find an old woman sitting next to them, muttering incoherently. When they got off at their stop, they realized that no one else had seen the old woman, and she wasn't captured on the bus's CCTV cameras. Bus drivers, too, have their own tales of eerie encounters. One driver, Mr. Kim, recounted a night when he was driving the last bus of the evening. He noticed a figure in the rearview mirror, sitting quietly in the back. When he stopped the bus at the final destination and turned around, the figure was gone. There were no passengers left on the bus, and the doors had remained closed the entire time. The most famous story, however, is that of a young student named Min Ji. She boarded Route 971 late at night, heading home after studying at a library. She took a seat near the front, and as the bus drove through the darkened streets, she noticed the reflection of a man standing behind her in the window. When she turned around, the man was gone. Terrified, She got off at the next stop and ran all the way home. She later learned that a man had died in a traffic accident on that very route years earlier, and his ghost was said to haunt the bus. Despite the growing number of ghost stories, Route 971 remains a vital part of Seoul's public transportation system. Many commuters still use the bus daily, but for those who have experienced the supernatural on this route, the Seoul Ghost Bus is a chilling reminder of the city's unseen residents. Each ride carries the possibility of encountering the unknown, making every trip an adventure into the paranormal. And that brings us to the end of our journey through the haunted buses of the world. From the eerie encounters on Beijing's Route 375 to the chilling apparitions on Seoul's Route 971, these stories remind us that the supernatural can appear in the most unexpected places. Thank you for joining me on this spine-tingling adventure. If you've enjoyed these tales, please consider liking this video, leaving a comment, and subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us continue to bring you more ghost stories and paranormal adventures. And if you have your own ghostly experiences, don't hesitate to share them in the comments below. Until next time, stay safe and keep your eyes open for the unexplained. I'm Greg, signing off from 101 Ghost Stories. Sweet dreams, everyone.